What's up, YouTube? It's me, Killer B, and this is my video response for Voices of Defense's bailout giveaway. Whoop whoop. Well, anyway, he wants us to answer 4 questions, and I'm going to answer all 4 of these questions. All right, Tony.
Hi.
Do you feel that our nation is at risk due to government control? Why or why not? Oh, let's get the flag all over the camera. Oh, come on, man. You stumped?
I'm trying to make this as politically correct as possible.
I think, personally, my opinion is that they law us to death. You know, we got guns, but then we have all these rules that we have to follow because the government says we have to follow all these rules.
Well, I think some of the control, to be honest, came from the amount of lawsuits that people pit against each other. It's like when me and you start riding motorcycles, we didn't have to wear a helmet. We didn't have to, even when kids riding bicycles nowadays, wear helmets.
Yeah,
it all
that's
came
true.
from lawsuits that the government would have to control. So I think some of the control from the government comes from people suing each other instead of like the older days when...
So to keep us from suing the government, they make all these rules so we can't sue them.
Well, yeah, and plus people just became not more... like when we were growing up, it was a lot more easier, like with my dad and everybody. So I don't think it's more control, it's just more people came to rely on the government, so they have to regulate control.
That's true. There is more people that are being controlled by the government and having to...
So as with any business, they have to put regulations or policies in effect to help, not help people. Well, they actually help people, but like with anything, people take them to extreme.
So the problem is not that all people are doing it. It's just you got one dumb person who's got to ruin it for all of us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
like,
it cost somebody a bunch of money.
Pretty much like if...
And the government didn't want to pay it.
Any sports or anything, if one guy screws up, everybody pays for it. So I think that's just the way they look at it. It's...
Now that I put new batteries in the camera again. Where were we at? Oh, we were discussing the dumb person who ruins it for everybody.
Yeah. I don't think the government controls. They just have to, like with any business, make up policies, regulations for everyone to follow.
But that's kind of like controlling us, though.
It's not controlling. It's, like I said, from a business standpoint, they just have to make up policies just because of one person. So, that's my view, really.
Oh, that's cool. Alright, well, the second question he asked us is, what are you doing to prepare for worst case scenario? Explain with details. Well, I personally am going to try to fight and keep my home. I want to stay at my house. I don't want to have to go wait in line at no Red Cross Center or anything like that and have to depend on anybody else. I want to depend only on myself. So I have myself some ammo, some guns, and some food, some water, you know, all the basic supplies, Band-Aids, you know, all that good stuff. And basically what I do is I recycle all my stuff. When I grab a box of Band-Aids and I use them for me and the kids, I go buy another box the same week. If I make tuna casserole or something like that and I pull out a couple of cans of tuna out of my pantry, I make sure I replace those 2 cans of tuna. So I always have new food and new water. That way I'm always recycling things. Some of the stuff that I'm doing to prepare is I have taken some training courses, and I do plan on taking more training courses. I don't think watching TV shows and stuff like that's really going to prepare you. Going out and doing things is going to prepare you. Like when I go camping, I try different fire starting techniques. I have went and bought plastic tarps before and tried camping in those a few times just to know what it's going to be like. Because it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to set a tent up might not have an air mattress, you might not have a sleeping bag, you might not have those things available, so you have to be prepared to know what it's like. If you have not tried it and then you have to go out and do it, it's going to be a lot harder. So I feel you should try things so you know what to expect and know more of what it's going to be like. And then the other thing was, he wanted to know if we had a fight or flight mentality. I pretty much want to stay at home and fight. I don't want to go nowhere. I love my home. I've got woods. I've got all my stuff's here. I mean, I've got books I can read. I've got plenty of things that I can do. And there's a lot of things I can do at home. And I'd rather be at home. But if it came down to it, and the house burned down, and I had to run, you know, I would definitely do that. And the other thing he wanted to know was, what do you think about our future generations will end up with our current education? Well, I asked my daughter that, and I'm going to add that to this video. But in my opinion, our education sucks. I mean, my kids don't know nothing about, like, our rights as being Americans. I mean, they have no clue about anything. The only thing they worry about is the state tests and stuff like that. They don't really worry about what they're learning. I don't get it. Our kids they're getting dumber, not smarter. And how are we going to compete with other countries when their kids are getting smarter and we're getting dumber? I mean, I feel like our country eventually, we're going to be a service industry country. We're going to be working at fast food restaurants. We're going to be working at retail outlets. And we're going to be serving everybody else. I just feel that's what our education is doing. But again, those are only my opinions, so, and everyone has different opinions. Well, that's going to be it for me, so until next time. Hey, Brooklyn.
What?
What do you think our future generations will end up with our current education? What do you think?
Everything's going to be on the computer.
Everything's going to be on a computer?
Yeah, in 2 years the OAAs are already going to be on the computer. And it's going to be the United States, not every single state just doing it.
So it won't be the Ohio State Tested, whatever they call it now. What do they call it? Oh, what?
OAA.
What stands for?
Ohio Achievement Assessment, I think.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
You're no fun.
What's the other question?
Well, that's the only question I had for you. I just want to know what your opinion was on what you think our future education is. What did you learn last year in school?
I don't remember.
Well, then apparently it really worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's go make some breakfast, Brooklyn. How's that sound?
Okay.
Alright.